All right. All right. Earth stewards, water protectors, investors. I have a business proposal that offers lifestyle, products, legitimately chemical free, basically everything that supports life and honors our environment and Mother Nature. In order to do that, we need a system that we control and regulate start to finish. This is because our current regulatory systems no longer serve us. So I put together teachings, products, means, methods, and systems that allow those concerned to navigate whatever this time in history throws at us. Not just living well, living intentionally. All right, so this is a modular design concept for year-round greenhouse system. Think Earthship, but not for people, for plants in a modular system. Either crane set or tip up or panel wall. This would actually be recessed about 4 feet in the ground for thermal mass. The back would be concrete with a concrete base for composting to be able to harvest heat for the structure. There's also 3 generators that are built into the system, so this can go remotely anywhere and start producing food very quickly. All right. I also have teachings on how to engage this system with the newest understandings we have in science as far as plant consciousness, relationships with human beings, and then how to take in a greenhouse and get your cleaning sprays, your supplements, your detergents, all of life's necessities are available through a greenhouse, right? And then again, to have it be truly chemical free, the only way that we can be sure of that is if we control it from germination forward, right? All right. All right, so here we go. Objective proposal. There's 5 primary aspects to be developed out independently within Morningstar movement, a tribe called their stores, the greenhouse and generator development. This approach will give us give each aspect the focus it requires for growth and to flow organically. Morningstar movement, tribe called Earth stores, and native essentials covers the most basic needs in society today: electricity, water collection and filtration, food, cultural-based medicines, emergency shelter, and day-to-day conveniences products, while at the same time keeping our natural environment safe, working towards healing our Mother Earth. Development of these systems will have measurable effects on physical, mental, spiritual health, economics, agricultural relationships, ecological systems, food sovereignty, social structures, and educational dynamics. By decentralizing basic needs and at the same time unifying each location, the microeconomic will have profound effects and influence on the macroeconomic. Ultimately, I imagine intentional neighborhoods built around one of these systems that would allow access to water, electricity, food, and location-specific products to the residents that would be highly discounted, if not free. They'd be able to support themselves very easily and do something they enjoy, that they're drawn to. Our objective is to create a chemical-free culture and maintain a higher set of standards for lifestyle needs based on the fundamental laws of nature. These 5 aspects are as follows. The tribe called Earth store is a first of its kind water stewards outlet center. Everything on our shelves would be closely scrutinized to live up to chemical-free guidelines based on Morningstar Movement's educational curriculum. The store would also act as an ongoing educational and healing space, offering holistic, apothecary, homeopathic health options would be ideal, to include catering to many cultural perspectives and needs. The store would also act to support small burgeoning businesses by offering local crafters products in-store as well as online by going through our certification process. The store space would offer observable product crafting, teaching space for community and homeschool, products, sale floor, holistic healing. The web store itself is our connection to the rest of the world and acts as connective tissue between all locations and divisions of Morningstar movement, fostering a culture of truly chemical-free lifestyle by making it broadly accessible to everyone. This offers us to decentralized food and daily products on a large scale. We would certify students from Morningstar movement classes to include their products online as well. We could offer broader lifestyle products that have similar philosophies and create chemical-free momentum, kind of like Amazon for chemical-free, or Etsy, or a little bit of both. So creation and maintaining of that. The greenhouse itself, modular, scalable, year-round greenhouse, kind of like a Willapini style, but highly engineered, right? Is the heart and soul of our ability to offer start to finish, truly chemical-free food, water, and everyday essential needs products. There are two basic designs to be planned out: crane set and panel wall system. The modular design means it can be scaled up from a single-family house to a commercial endeavor. All locations would be connected online, and multiple greenhouse locations can be maintained by a single physical store. To fine-tune modular production, we need to prototype and engineer a plan to evaluate for different coupling systems for the electricity, plumbing, heating, cooling, all that type of stuff, transporting. We also have 3 fuelless generator designs that are built into the system to harvest energy from natural greenhouse functions and systems. Thermodynamics, siphon energy, gravity, and tension. We also need to prototype and refine those to fit specifically to the greenhouse, but some of those can be engineered out for other needs as well. Each is based on tried and tested and existing engineering of known sciences. This isn't perpetual motion or anything. These are just classic motors and generators, just put together in a unique way, a new way. Not even that complicated. These systems are intentionally designed to be easily maintained with typical or readily available vocational certifications in generators, small engine repair, electricians, and boiler systems. Water collection and filtration is paramount to self-sustaining and sovereign communities. We have innovative design concepts that for the water filtering that requires proof of function and some fabricating that, once developed, will allow us to filter large quantities of contaminated water in real time. Until we have proof of concept for that and a functioning model, we'll rely on traditional water filtering methods with activated charcoal, sand, gravel, and traditional filters. Water movement within the entire structure also creates a lot of siphon motion to harvest energy to turn a custom hydraulic generator. All right, compost for soil is part of permaculture gardens and our design. There's vast amounts of heat involved in that. With 10 yards of compost, you can create heat for 6 months. The back wall of each greenhouse will be concrete lined with bins to take advantage of heat by having the compost be a thermal mass directly linked to a high percentage of the structure, as well as heating water in a connected boiler system. The entire roof, the pitch over here, this angle, the design is 27.5 degrees, because this entire roof will be acting as a solar furnace to catch heat and create motion. In the summertime, we'll also be able to lift the roof so it becomes a barrier to the heat. This will allow us to have acute controls over atmospheric conditions within the greenhouse. I intend to prototype mine with hydroponic tower systems and permaculture earth beds. It's a 4 foot, so the hydroponic or the permaculture earth beds are 4 foot wide. I have the towers in the middle with the lights spread out, as well as some incandescents, some metal halide, hypersodium, some fluorescent 5500 full spectrums. All of these things could be in there. The idea is to be able to give the plants the light cycles they need year round, regardless of the sun's current cycle. And then ultimately, if you had to, this could be done underground. You wouldn't necessarily have to have the sun involved. So for bug out shelters, you could have fresh food going with your storages as well. All right. This way we can have first harvest cycles very quickly and continuously thereafter. Different methods of vertical growing would be explored to optimize per square foot production volumes based on local growing preferences in different mines and different bodies and different locations. All right. Each greenhouse, there would be a section for harvesting and processing that could act as a teaching and emergency shelter space. All right, prototyping of the greenhouse would need to be for the scaling of it, so that we could have mass production. It's going to be cranes that we probably have to do both, just depending on what locations need. On-site installation plans, if it's tip-up, it's fairly simple, or wall panels, it's fairly simple. If it's crane set, it's a little more elaborate. Then the development of the generators, we have a gravity/tension generator, a helix generator for heat, thermodynamics as well, and a water siphon generator. We have an innovative water filtration design that we'd like to be concepted out, as well as just the creation of the actual water filtering systems that would be installed here as well, just for the meantime until we get the other stuff going. Compost, thermodynamics, soil health, mineral health, plants, the different types of growing, different layouts, vertical, horizontal, soil maintenance, atmospheric controls, the ambience in the greenhouse itself, the venting, different methods of inviting heat or repelling it. All right, and so then I used to make products, right? I still do, just not for my sole source of income. That was so our divestment package, chemical divestment package, is our plan to plant the seed and inspire a culture of chemical-free living, intentional living. Petrochemicals hide in virtually everything, so we have a package with simple items that immediately and highly reduce the chemical footprint of our homes and public spaces. The package includes laundry detergent, cleaning spray, bar soap, a pain-relieving balm, and deodorant. We need large equipment and materials to create the volume needed to keep up with market needs of the launch of a product setup like that. Packaging, the obvious stuff that goes with that. So along with this, we also have Morningstar Movement Stewardship, teaching, certification, and quality control standards. All the education that goes along with this stuff, and to be part of the store for outside groups that make products, no plastics or minimal plastics, glass, no fragrances, no chemicals. We have courses and curriculums created to teach and plans to reach out to people and organizations to make product lines, train trainers, go chemical free and partner with us. We teach not only how to optimize the greenhouse, but how to recognize chemical access into our homes, lives, and communities, how to preserve foods, make detergents, cleaners, supplemental herbs for healthy, chemical-free living. These curriculums will lay the foundation for what is allowed to participate in continuing relationships in our greenhouses, in-store, online, and the value of doing it all with love and compassion. Again, that's the science base to it. HeartMath Institute, Global Coherence Initiative, Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton, Joe Dispenza, Rupert Sheldrake. All of the teachings, Masaru Emoto, these things that we have access to now are in the teachings to then be able to translate over to functionality, right? These curriculums lay the foundation for what is allowed to participate in our ongoing relationships. Residential is our starting point, but it'll ultimately be lobbying businesses to go chemical-free and develop manufacturing products that reduce the need for typical plastics. All right, so Morningstar Movement Temple Farming class, Tribe Called Earth Stewardship class, Commercial Production Requirements class for inclusion in-store and online, Tribe Called Earth Ambassador Program, Training the Trainer, Traditional Plants, Medicines, and Application, Herbalism 101, soap making, home crafting, preserving, homeschool classes, and then startup advocacy in here. Again, people that make products that would be able to sell with us online, teach them how to do that, get them set up so that they're legal with the state registration, EINs, insurances, banking, all that kind of stuff. And then there's a nonprofit side to this, and there's a for-profit side to this. And both sides are going to want evaluation metrics. They're going to want to be able to evaluate what we're doing, see that there's the money is being well spent, and that milestones and assumptions are being met, right? So for the classes, we have surveys post and prior for our certifications, yield audits for food, water, power, class attendance, community support, and connections for individuals and organizations. System milestones, so when the greenhouses get built, I'd like to have multiple greenhouses in multiple locations. So investors, that would be something that would be, have in your immediate location for all of these things, the generators, the water, food, all of that stuff. The water filtrating, the internal dynamics, composting, generator prototypes, the engineering aspects, the structure, the couplers, installation plans, more accurate elevations engineering, architectural plan, mobilization, transportation plans, um, economic impact, how many jobs we added, how many entrepreneurs have we inspired, how many partnerships have we created, ecological impact analysis, how much the chemical footprint reductions per pound per day, carbon emission elimination, water filtration, volume and testing for purity, watt hours generated, watt hours put back in the grid, um, participants' physicals, not just participants that receive, but participants that are involved in running one of these greenhouses. I want to see how their bodies and minds and spirits heal. Those are all measurable things that we can start looking at immediately. So what's my impact hypothesis? What's my assumptions with this? By decentralizing basic needs, food, water, electricity, cultural medicines, and supplements back to the community level, we create opportunity dynamics to not only provide our needs, but allow each community to thrive and grow from within. In doing so, we create and cater to orthodox standards of intentional, chemical-free, steward-based lifestyles. I imagine the conveniences taken for granted in life at the large chain stores now being a source of economic development. Communities will naturally support each other in this process. One may be good, one greenhouse or community may be good at cleaners, another at hygiene, another at herbalism or agriculture, another one at equipment maintenance. Unity will take the place of hardship. Bottom-up management can be described as a flock of birds murmuring, each flowing and fulfilling its expectations, responsibility, and function within the movements of the whole, harmonizing, healing, and balancing the mind, body, and spirit, and its connection to nature, each other, and ultimately our obligations to Mother Earth. Right? So, in my neighborhood that I lived in, there was community gardens at the projects, right? And so the first ones that came out into where we were doing this gardening was the youth. 8, 9, 10, 12, up to 15, 16 were the ones that came out there. And then we had at-risk youth age specific programs, 16 to 24, that were out there working on stuff, teaching them all these things, right? So it inspires people. When you have community gardens and things people can take back home, educationally and physically, food, it'll inspire them to participate and come, and this design is meant to be maintained and run with minimal oversight, so a few people can run this and get it going, while the community can then come back in and make it blossom into whatever it needs to evolve to. Like I said, and the idea is to have it be absorbed into whatever environment it goes into. You can put one of these in the Arctic and farm fish for people that have keto diets. The different locations as far as cultural foods, cultural vegetables, what grows year round, what are these cycles, all of the different ideas that go along with it, right? So who am I? Why am I the one to bring this to you? What makes me special in my history? Well, the universe has decided to give me a very unusual, eclectic history to be able to put all this stuff together. All right, so I was framing foreman for that, herbalist for that, and an engineering consultant in a past life as well. So reading my history, you'll see an abrupt transition from business professional to farming, herbalism, and product crafting. I was a business owner for 20 years in high-rise specialty trades and facade restoration. 2012, I suffered a devastating back injury that kept me in a 3-block area for 2.5 years. Community garden was right outside my door. Being cooped up, I began to volunteer my time there. After several months, I noticed I was healing very well, but not just my injury, my mental health was following suit. My wife and I fine-tuned some herbal remedies based on traditional, culturally based healing that eventually brought me back to a physical condition that I haven't felt since my youth. Mentally, I don't believe I've ever as sound as I feel now. At this point, I've found there's nothing in life I can't replace with truly natural, plant-based ingredients and processes. The Voluntary Disclosure Act means industry has no motivation to divulge accurate ingredients lists. To me, this means we have to take it upon ourselves to create and regulate standards based on a steward's perspective. from mental, physical, and spiritual health to cleaning to commercial pest control, ultimately all of life conveniences. We are at a point where eliminating chemical footprint is not only possible, it's absolutely necessary. So my professional history, 20 years experience, I adapt quickly to changing environments. My business that I had was a DBE business. That's a federally recognized mentoring program. I was certified in Minnesota, South Dakota, Kansas. I had an minority business enterprise, small disadvantaged business. I carried OSHA certifications for my business, 10, 30, high access, fall protection. I was the on-site safety, qualified safety. I had multiple businesses functioning in the same capacity over different unions and non-unions. So I had a laborers 563 union. I had an SEIU 23 union. I was a HUD contractor. I wrote aware programs. I was certified in safety 24/7. Healing side, energy side, I was certified in Qigong 1 and 2. I did teaching in Native American herbalism and philosophy. I've been an apprentice trainer in both construction and herbalism. So I offer a unique synergy of intellect, professionalism, a hybrid of materials. This is just some of my construction, remodeling work that I did, equipment operation, large scale, forklifts, boom trucks, all that good stuff. I was a remodeling foreman, a greenhouse manager. I worked for a hydroponic greenhouse. I did planting, harvesting, packaging, construction, research and development. I was a crafter. Again, I did a lot of craft shows, expos, had an online store for soap making, oils, balms, detergents, cleaning solution, hygiene products, concoctions, infusions, and product creation. I did contract teaching for gardening, wild harvesting, foraging, herbalism, healing work, home crafting, and I was a youth build program director for at-risk youth. I was in that position. I did a complete overhaul of their educational system that they had. We did that by using G Suite, QuickBooks, student monitoring. We did student monitoring, financial transparency, department oversight, created curriculum, and we taught entry-level carpenter skills. In that same position, I also ran the farm there too. It was a 2.5-acre urban farm that we had the youth help with that, and a lot of volunteers in the neighborhood came out. So I was actually alone in that as far as employed-wise, but a lot of the community came out and helped with that. That's how I know that these things draw people out. I had my business. I had my local 563, local 23, Towers Plus, witco area specialist. I started this business with money from endowment from my wedding from my in-laws, and grew it up to 20 employees and interstate, tribal, federal, union, non-union, HUD. We were doing well until I got hurt. Right, the certifications I've got for Qigong, mental health. So I teach anger management right now for a native specific organization. I pour sweat lodge, put people up for Vision Quest. So like I said, I have a very unusual hybridization of knowledge and history to be able to bring this together. Right, so each one of these can be broken out into its own information. So over the next few weeks, months, ongoing, I imagine, I'll be diving deeper into each aspect. The temple farming for the growing, the science of tradition, the application of our medicines outside of ceremony, our day-to-day, everyday life, our mental health, physical health, and our houses. And again, some of the philosophy behind what we're doing, teaching that, now they've done these studies and they've seen that plants have visual and audio ability in their cells. Plants, respond to different things, and we'd like to show just how deep that goes. And so, again, thank you for getting this far. I hope to hear from many of you. I'll be sharing this directly. And I'll have my email available on the page. Again, I'll be sharing soon, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.